What is up, my friends? I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. I know I am, that is for sure. That is because on this morning, I'm going to be trying something new for the very first time, and that is an energy shot. In this case, 5-hour energy. I figured I would try the original 5-hour energy. Of course, you got to do it to them. This is the berry. So berry, it's not marketed as their original flavor, but I'm pretty sure it is actually the first one they came out with. And so, of course, this is like the classic energy shot. And so this is the one we're going to be trying out on this fine day. And I must admit, there's a lot of bugs. It's really pissing me off, but this is the third spot that I've been to today that I've been trying to find a spot with no bugs in it. It still has bugs, so I'm out here suffering for y'all. I hope that this is worth it and that y'all enjoy this, because it might be a little rough at times, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, I'm gonna get through it. So today I'm just gonna give y'all a bit of a product overview on this, because it's a lot more obscure than energy drinks, I find. Well, no, it just is. Not a lot of people are drinking these except maybe truckers, and I mean, yeah. So just gonna give you a bit of a product overview and then give you a review on the thoughts of it, and then just give you my final thoughts, I guess. And if the buzz kicks after I'm done recording, then I will just give y'all a little update after, just to let y'all know the effects that this thing gave me. And so let's begin by taking a look at this. So as you can see, 5-hour energy logo with this little running man here. This is like their logo, or their icon, their mascot. I really aspire, I really look up to this guy. I want to be like him one day. I want to have 5 hours of energy. I just want to be running around everywhere I go, y'all. This just seems like such a fantastic way to live. You know what I'm saying? And so you can see it says fixes tired fast, and it advertises sugar-free, vitamins, and caffeine. So sounds like a winning combo, in my opinion. And yeah, this is regular strength, so that just means for most of the ingredients, it's not much of a difference. It's a very, very slight difference. And but I'll show you what it means in the ingredients as we get to that part. We do have some little Canadian flags here, and at the bottom says berry flavor, 57 milliliters, and return for a refund where required. Of course, got to be recycling these. And you can see here, you got just this whole wall of warnings, which of course we will be completely disregarding today, because quite frankly, I'd just be doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And over here, we got our barcode and the ingredients. This is the most important part, because this is what is gonna make us feel the 5-hour energy at the end of the day. So of course, zero carbohydrates. Does this have calories? I don't think it advertises being 0 calorie, and there's not a calorie count, but it does say 0 carbs, so I'm assuming there's no calories in this. And so we have 30 milligrams of niacin, 40 milligrams of pyridoxine, or B6, niacin is B3, 500 micrograms of B12 or cyanocobalamin, 15 grams of sodium. It's not a significant amount by any means. And so now we're at the fun part, the energy blend. There is 1,871 milligrams in the energy blend in total, and that consists of 9 milligrams of acetylcholine, 330 milligrams of glucuronolactone, 236 milligrams of N-acetyl L-tyrosine. Phenylalanine is listed in this, which I don't think makes a lot of sense, but maybe it's just there for the people allergic to phenylalanine. I think I might need to find a new spot, y'all. I changed my mind. I'm bawling through the pain, you know what I'm saying? And so, to continue, we got 565 milligrams of taurine. Again, I don't know why malic acid is listed in here. That's a bit of a weird choice, since I haven't heard of malic acid having any energy boosting properties. I just know it's like an acidifier. It's an acid. It's going to make the drink taste a bit better. And finally, we have the 190 milligrams of caffeine. I don't think it's going to focus there at all, but that is what it says. And you can see now for the top part, it says berry, and you just got a message that says only for sale in Canada, and a message saying if this part is open, don't drink it, because I mean someone opened it. But on the bottom, we do have the expiration date, and this is not expired, so we're all good, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's just about all I've had to cover. Although on this warning, I will say the most important part. This is only for adults 19 and older, and so that's just the part I want to highlight. It's for healthy adults, you know what I'm saying? Do not recommend that you be drinking these, and if you do, have a lot of water and be a healthy adult, because that is how you're gonna stay alive, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, all the other stuff, I mean, it is important, obviously. I'm not gonna deny that, but just be 19 if you're drinking this. And obviously, for the sake of this video, I am 19. If you ask me in a different situation, might be 19, might not be 19, you know, but for this video, I am 19, of course. And now, there are a lot of bugs, but I think it's about time that we try this out and just see exactly what it's like to drink 5 Hour Energy. And so to drink this, I am going to first just take a sip, let you know all how it tastes, and then after that I'm going to chug the rest like a shot, just to have the actual full shot experience, because it wouldn't be an energy shot if I'm not chugging it, you know? Just would not be the full experience. And yeah, so how about right now we just all just get this right opened up. I hope I can open it like this. Ooh, that's pretty hard. Okay, so there is a, it says tear here, and I didn't want to tear there, because I do want to keep this bottle, and tearing there would damage the top just a tiny bit, but I don't think I'm gonna get to open it without tearing that part. So I think we're gonna get right to doing that. As you can see, or maybe you can't see it. Don't want to be damaging the bottle. Okay, we got this part off. Oh, I don't want to be taking the top off, this top sticker part off, but I feel might. Okay. The sticker did fall off. I think I'm gonna put those in my bag so we don't be littering. And this is what it looks like opened, I suppose. Oh, and I forgot to show you all this, but there is the 5 Hour Energy Man on the top of the bottle right there, which is a nice little Easter egg. Now, let's get this all opened up, shall we? Okay. I'm not going to show it to y'all, but it is it's somewhat orange, almost clear-like color. I'm already picking up on a smell from this. Definitely a very berry-like smell. Probably picking up on a bit of strawberry and raspberry, maybe a bit of citrus, like an orange in there as well. Definitely smells pretty decent by all means. But I think with that out of the way, it's time for us to finally take a sip of this. So let's see exactly how it tastes. And I think I see a little bit of like powder at the top, a little bit of like chalkiness in there. It's very interesting, but let's have a sip. Okay, okay. Definitely less bad than I was expecting. It is a very syrupy taste. This does feel like it would feel like more of a drink if you diluted it in some water or something a bit less strong. But overall the taste is not bad. It is fairly sweet to a point where it doesn't feel all too medicine-y. And that berry flavor you're getting is pretty decent. Um, I didn't really pick up on any specific berries, but it definitely just tastes vaguely fruity, but very, very like a bit concentrated, a bit sweet, and of course this is uncarbonated. But with that out of the way, I think I want to try to chug this and feel the full energy shot experience, my friends. So, without any further ado, cheers. Let's see what 5-hour energy or drinking 5-hour energy is truly like. So, let's do it. Oh, Lord, that went down wrong. Let's resume. Okay, this is really hard to drink, to chug out of the bottle. Okay. I see. So, right off the bat, I could see why someone would enjoy doing this, you know? Fun little experience for sure, and definitely tastes pretty good to chug it. Although, yeah, I will say that was very difficult to chug just because of how small the bottle opening is. I didn't want to I needed to put my lips around it so that because I didn't want it to spill, but at the same time, I feel like doing that kind of like constricted the amount that was flowing out quite a bit and made it difficult to chug like that. So I had to take a lot of different amount, like a lot of, I don't know what the word is, but I had to take pauses in between. And yeah, so overall, I feel like I would need to have more experience drinking these to be able to chug it and do it well. But overall, I mean, not a bad experience by any means. Definitely a very syrupy drink, a very concentrated kind of flavor. And can definitely feel it in the back of my throat right now, how it's like, I don't know, it just leaves a bit of a very strong texture in your throat like that. And I mean, I don't know if I like that feeling or not, but I mean overall the taste is not much different than the sip I had. Still just a kind of a vague berry taste, definitely not bad at all, but still very concentrated. And I just wanted to mention, so I had, before drinking this, excuse me, I had a 8-day break from, not from caffeine in general, just specifically from energy drinks. No, the caffeine I did have was from soda, so it was just about 40 milligrams a day of caffeine, which is not a lot by any means. And yeah, I just took an 8-day break of caffeine before trying this because I wanted to really feel the caffeine. I wanted this to be a special experience, and so I wanted to feel the 5-hour energy to its fullest extent. I definitely could have waited a bit longer. I was hoping I would maybe last about like 2 weeks, or maybe even a month. That was setting it high though. But overall, glad I took a bit of a tolerance break, and I'm hoping that this does hit fairly strong. I have not had, I haven't eaten yet today. I will have a snack if it's necessary, because I don't want to be like, if this hits super hard, I don't want to be on an empty stomach, you know? But yeah, overall, I feel like that's just about all I had to say for the review part. I'm just going to start talking about stuff now. And today's a beautiful morning. You know what I'm saying? The sky is like, it's a tiny bit cloudy, but it's a vague, like it's very faded, I would say. And the sun is coming up. You know, I I don't think I appreciated this in my life before, but now that the summer is here, the grass is so green. It's so green, and it just looks, quite frankly, beautiful out there, you know what I'm saying? The birds, I can see the birds over there. The bugs have gone away for the most part from what I can tell, which is very nice. And I think I'm going to put my hat on now. I do have this fire True Religion hat that I thrifted. And I think just being around bugs makes my head itchy, just because I expect that they're gonna bite me. But yeah, so that's why I have this hat here. It helps just a little bit to not feel itchy like that. I'm definitely not a fan of bugs. They're annoying. The flying bugs, I don't like them one bit, you know what I'm saying? Definitely the worst part of the summer season for me, but does not ruin it by any means. I'm still gonna be out here having a marvelous time and enjoying my silly little beverages. And you know, I've been listening to one of my albums again. Is This What It Feels Like to Be Dead? It's a like a trap, like kind of rap, but not really. I really have my own twist on it. So it's mostly influenced by Haunted Mounds. So like Cemetery, Ghost Mountain. Turnabout isn't in there anymore, but he's a big influence for sure. And you know, I've just been really appreciating that album so much, because it really reminds me of last summer, and it's just a very nostalgic period of time for me. And it feels great to be listening to that again now that the summer season is finally here. And I will say, I think I do look a bit red in the face. I'm not sure if that's just placebo, because they did say, okay, I think I do actually feel it. I think that is the niacin flush. So when you have a lot of vitamin B3 and niacin at the same time, it can cause niacin flush, where you get a little bit red in the face, because I think there's like blood going there or something. And I think I do see that, and that I do like feel like a tiny bit of like a tingle there. So not sure if that's just placebo, but I feel something, I think. So that's an interesting first experience. I'm gonna see. Yeah, it does say you may experiencing flushing, hot feeling, skin redness that lasts a few minutes. This is caused by increased blood flow to the skin. And that is, of course, from niacin. They don't say it specifically, but that is what niacin flush is, from the 30 milligrams of niacin in here. I would assume, I mean, niacin does cause that. I don't know what else would cause that. But yeah, I'm just having a very pleasant time right now, you know. I'm trying not to pressure myself too much to work on more music, and just do what I actually enjoy and what is fun for me. But I am working on a sequel to that album right now, which is going to be called Is This What It Feels Like to Be Alive? and it's just gonna be talking. The like thematically, it's gonna be about like some of the same things, just like some struggles I have, some parts about life that I like, and I don't know. It's all just coming straight from the heart, you know. I'm just gonna do what I want, and I think I might start to be feeling the caffeine right now, so I am gonna have some water, of course. Just gonna. I don't want to be dehydrated, you know. This is 190 milligrams of caffeine. This is water with the orange sugar-free drink mix liquid from Walmart. I definitely enjoy those drink mixes. Quite delicious. Stay hydrated, y'all. Changes your life, honestly. Dehydration can cause your headaches. Most of the time, it is what causes headaches. I feel like most headaches that exist are probably caused by dehydration. That's just my personal hypothesis, but you know, I used to have in middle school, I had pretty bad acne, and that was because I was dehydrated, and I didn't even know that. But when quarantine started, that was when I finally picked up the habit of just always having a water bottle next to me, and that's just what made me start actually drinking water. And because of that, I was hydrated enough, and my acne went away, like just like that. Just oh Lord, excuse me. Just like that, I just started drinking water, and it was gone, just like that. Or I don't know. I assume it was slower than that, but like I'm pretty sure it was that. Like maybe there's a chance it was the sun. I don't know why it would have been that though, because it never came back after quarantine ended, and I was out in the sun again more often. I think it really was just not drinking enough water. But yeah, you know, quarantine. I feel like if I mean now I can talk about quarantine. Why not? We're just out here chilling. We're just having a fun time. You know what I'm saying? Quarantine for me, honestly, as someone who I've always thought of myself as an introvert. I think I'm more of an I really don't know honestly, because I feel like everyone is kind of in between. You know, it's one of those things where it's a label that we have that just doesn't really give a whole lot, or it doesn't really mean a ton, because you know I do enjoy being around people, and the definition that people use is that introverts need like they need time alone to recharge after seeing people, and extroverts need to be with people to recharge after being alone. But like I feel like I feel like that extrovertedness might not really be a thing if that's the definition we're using. I don't know, because I don't know, that just doesn't really make sense to me. How can you recharge from always being around people and never have time to be with your own thoughts, you know? That just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I'm sure there is some people like that out there, but to say like 75 people always say 75% of people are extroverts, 25% are introverts, and then there's also ambiverts, which are like in between. But like, are 75% of people really uh, recharge from always being around people? That just sounds so weird to me. And I think I'm talking faster now from I think the caffeine's slowly starting to hit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just a label that doesn't really make sense to me. I don't really get it, because I've always thought of myself as an introvert, but that's just because I have social anxiety, you know? Like, I like being around people, I love people, and I love being alone too, but I don't know. the label just didn't really make much sense for me. And the caffeine is definitely starting to hit. I feel like some like shaking in my jaw right now. Oh, that's fun. That's funny. Okay, okay. So I was talking about quarantine. So quarantine for me as a I was talking about the introvert thing. As a person with social anxiety who enjoys being alone and enjoys being around people, quarantine was honestly fine for me. It was a great time of my life, for the most part. I mean, I got to play Minecraft with my friends instead of finishing eighth grade, which is it's crazy to think that I was in eighth grade in 2020. Damn, I feel young. I feel way too young. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyways, it was definitely a very pleasant experience to be playing Minecraft instead of doing math. You know, I don't think much of anyone would have any complaints about that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, overall, I don't think I lost much from not being from not finishing my eighth grade because they just cut it short. So for me, so instead of doing like online, we just didn't finish like the last like 3 or 4 months of school. We just yeah, they just like let us graduate if we were doing all right, I guess. Which is, I mean, that's kind of funny, but yeah. And I mean, I think quarantine was also a time where I like realized that if I want to have good habits in life, that like I need to do them myself because no one else is gonna do it for me, and I can't just be like living life passively like that. If I want to be doing very well, I gotta like just do things for myself consciously, you know. Which I mean, I think if like I think that was an incredibly good lesson and might be a better lesson than whatever I would have learned in school, because I mean there wasn't much back then that I was learning that I actually enjoyed and internalized very much. The only parts I really remember are not liking history and I mean I think math was still pretty easy back. Lord, excuse me. I think math was still pretty easy back then, so didn't mind math all that much. Or maybe I was struggling. I think I probably was struggling actually. My memory of those times are not good at all. Uh, might be some like some part of that experience that was like unpleasant enough for me that I like kind of shut them out of my brain. But yeah, overall, quarantine was nice. It's when I kind of start. I think that's the part of my life I started going on walks more, just because like that was the only way I was getting any sunlight, and I don't want to be living without sunlight. You know, that sucks. And my jaw is shaking, but honestly, I think it's because, okay, I think it's partly the caffeine, partly the cold, because the wind is hitting just a tiny bit right now, and it's only like 14 degrees out here, but when I'm just sitting here, I'm not moving, so it's like it's a tiny bit chilly, but I mean, I'm just noticing that, you know, that's just what's going on. But overall, do I have anything else to say about quarantine? I don't know. I'm gonna have some more water right now, actually. To be staying hydrated. I feel like the ambiance right now is so good. I'm just chilling out here. Some some not wildlife, some nature in the background. But you know, it always weirds me out when people say like, "Oh, like 2020 was the worst," and like 2016 was the best, or things like that. You know, because I don't know. I just don't really tend to think of my life in years in that same way, or I don't place judgments on entire years. I don't really know why people do that. It's a bit strange to me. Like 2020, I do understand. Like, I get how like COVID was rough for a lot of people, especially like working people. Like that, I'm sure that would like really suck, especially as a young person. You don't have much built up for yourself, like losing your work. That okay, that like that I fully understand. That would be incredibly rough. But for like just I think 2016 is or 2016 being a great year is a better example of what I'm trying to say. I don't really get why people think of specific years as like so good or bad, because for me it's, I mean, I don't know, it's all just time. It's all just specific periods of time. And like, sure, some things are different in different periods of time, but at the same time, like, excuse me, there's always going to be good and bad periods of time. And I think it's just up to us as individuals to find the good things and try our best to live with the bad things. Because, I don't know, I just, like, nostalgia's great. Nostalgia is a good feeling, but people get so caught up in it and thinking how, like, things used to be better. And, like, maybe they were, but shouldn't we be talking about how to make the present better? Or how to make our lives more like what they were back then if it was so great? You know? Like, I feel like a part of it too is just people missing their childhood that was like so great back in 2016. But like, if I feel like you could just bring some of those things like back in your life, you know? Like some of that youthful era, some youthful aura back into the way you live. And of course, it's a lot easier said than done with all the adult responsibilities you have. But that's just the way I want to live personally. I don't want to be a boring adult who doesn't have friends, who doesn't go out, who pays taxes. I want to be someone who sees their friends often, who tries new things, who goes to new cafes, tries new energy drinks, of course, go on walks to new places, visit new places. I think I already said that. I want to be someone who doesn't pay their taxes, you know what I'm saying? That's just the type of person I want to be. I don't really rock with taxation, to be honest. I think we should all just be left to ourselves so we can all chill. I think everyone should just build their own cabin in the woods and trade with each other, because that would be awesome. Like, imagine you go to the supermarket, right? But instead of money, you have like iPhones. You have like iPhone 5s, okay? And you see a guy selling bread. And you're like, yo, I have an iPhone 5. Can I get 5 loaves of bread? So it's the equivalent of 5 iPhone 1s, right? And one iPhone 1 is worth a loaf of bread. So you get 5 loaves of bread for an iPhone 5. You know, I think that's a fair exchange, right? Oh Lord, I love coming up with fake scenarios and saying them very seriously. It's very fun. Oh Lord, what was I saying? What was I talking about? Well, now I was talking about, like, what even is that? Like, anarcho-communism? I don't think it is. It's probably some other thing. There's too many terms, y'all. I don't really know what the things are. What was I talking about though? It was like quarantine. Oh, I feel like this is a good segue for me to talk about my overall school experience, because I do have some new recent thoughts about that actually. I'm gonna reposition because the sun's getting very bright. So give me a moment. All right, I'm thinking this will give me um, a better, some better lighting. It's not as rough on my eyes, and also it's easier to sit like this, not as hard on my back. So, what was I going to talk about? High school, or I guess school in general, actually. Um, so, as a child, I don't want to like flex or sound like I'm not humble, but I mean, I was a very smart kid. I was ahead of my peers academically, and you know, I I very much like hate this, but it wasn't like in school. I wasn't treated differently, and I think very strongly that gifted kids should be treated differently than like regular classrooms, or just in general, students should be taught more individually, more to their personal needs, because like sure there are like the oh lord, my jaw is shaking so much. I'm like I'm very cold. I think that's the problem. But I really should have brought a sweater. I don't know why I didn't. I'm very bad at guessing what the weather is going to be like, but yeah, that's what we're out here. We're living with it. We're dealing with it. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I think every student should be individually assessed and like taught to their own needs. And maybe there's like a standard way of teaching them that works for most people. Maybe there isn't, you know. I'm not the master of education. Sorry. I'm just speaking from my own perspective on this, my own experience. No, I was like a very smart child. I learned things incredibly fast without needing to study, and I did very well in all my classes. In third and fourth grade, I was in a math contest and I won for like my whole grade. And I mean, I think there was like a hundred something, probably like around 150, 120 students per grade. So I mean, it's pretty good to be winning a math competition like that. You know, I mean, it says something. But you know, my problem is that I was treated the same as every other student. You know, and that might not sound like the worst thing, but my brain wasn't engaged in the things I was learning. That's the problem, you know. It was too slow of a pace for me to be like actually trying. And so, you know, I might have been learning, but I never learned how to try. And I think that's incredibly problematic because as I progressed into middle school and high school, I never learned that I should study. I never learned how to study properly in a way that makes me learn. And just things like that, you know. I never learned how to like properly apply myself because things are so easy that I just didn't even need to try, you know. So I did very well in elementary school, but as we got to middle school, you know, I stopped doing as well. And I think I kind of struggled a tiny bit through middle school. I was probably mostly getting like C's and B minuses, like somewhere around like 75%, which I mean is not it's not terrible by any means, but it's definitely not good. It's not excelling like I used to do. And getting into high school, that's when it started to get very rough, specifically in math. Because in high school, I mean, I was probably averaging like 80s, Yeah, for the first 2 years I was averaging 80s. The last 2 years probably around 90s, just because I could choose my classes more, and so it was more enjoyable. But for the first 2 years of high school, I struggled because I was there's like hmm, I don't remember actually, but I was placed in like the regular math class. Um, there's like three math classes in my school. The My old school, I obviously don't go there anymore. But there's like the easy, the normal, and the hard. And I was in the normal one, but because I never learned how to learn or to study and apply myself, I didn't learn a decent chunk of the things in middle school math. And so I was just behind the entire time. And I was like desperately trying to understand these like high school math concepts, like trigonometry. Oh, I cannot with trigonometry. Um, because I didn't have like some of the fundamentals, like the building ground to get that going, and also because I'm not a person who, well, I have I've been kind of raised into a role of not asking for help very much, and so that definitely manifested in my learning experience. I didn't like asking for help. I did it occasionally, but definitely needed to a lot more if I was going to be actually learning in that class. And both ninth and 10th grade, I only passed math class with about 56%, and 55% was the passing grade. So I'm pretty sure that I only passed that class because my teacher was like this sweet old lady, and she kind of liked me just because I was nice, I guess. But yeah, that's definitely not a good situation to be in. And I think it really shows how, you know, I don't know what it shows. I can't find the word right now, but in 11th and 12th grade, right, I took the easy math class, and I did like 95% in all of those classes. But in the normal math, I was almost failing. And I think that just shows like the problem is not that I'm dumb, obviously. The problem is that I just did not the school system did not give me the resources I needed to be able to apply myself and to understand like math, Cuz I could have done if I knew how to apply myself, I feel like I would have done so good in high school, but I just didn't. And so instead of spending my time studying, I spent it hanging out with friends and stuff, which I mean, not a bad experience, of course. It was fun to be doing that a lot and to just have my time to be working on music, of course. That was also very nice. But I mean, would have been nice to do a little bit better academically, just to have a broader scope of things I can do in my future. But yeah. My hair is looking quite fire right now. I do like that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about on the topic of high school is my school has a problem, okay? It has a very big problem, and I have a very sweet friend who is, I mean, they're chill, they're chill. And they got mad over this in our group chat. And I fully understand it. And in my head, I was like, yes, thank you for saying this. Thank you for being mad. This is the kind of anger everyone should be having about this. So our school, basically, what I'm gonna say is our school does not take students' safety seriously enough, nearly seriously enough, you know. Excuse me. But yeah. So in our time there have been 3 teachers who have done things that undermine students' safety. So, excuse me. Excuse me once again. But the first one that was we were aware of was this gym teacher who was like, I don't know what happened with him, but all I just know is that he did some weird things and got fired. That's just how it is, you know. They do that sometimes, I guess. But Lord, does it get worse? Does it get a lot worse? Okay. After that, you know, there is this guy who is responsible for one of the school committees, and oh my god, where do I even start with this guy? So he showed up to this committee where he's responsible, he's in charge of these students, right? They are like teenagers, but still, like, oh my god. So he showed up multiple times high on weed, like smelling like it and like clearly being intoxicated. And of course, that is not okay. That's insane. That is an insane thing to do. And he had like pretty bad mental health problems, and he talked to these teenagers about how he wanted to I don't think I can say the word without demonetized, but he wanted to do something very bad to himself. Yeah. And he just talked about that with students. And I get you're struggling, but like that is so unprofessional. And Lord, you cannot be putting students in a situation like that. That is just weird and unsafe. Like, you need time off type of thing. Like, yeah. And the last thing is the worst by a very large margin, but he I don't remember the details of what happened, but I think what he like, I don't know if he pushed or like hit a disabled student, because and something like that, but like, you should never be allowed in a school again after that, you know. And he's said before, like, he has said things like making fun of and like demeaning these disabled students that he works with, you know. And it's just the most disrespectful thing on the planet. Like, how can you be an adult responsible for children's safety and their well-being and be saying things like that, you know? That's just insane to me. But the problem is that multiple people have gone to the higher ups at the school about this and told them about what's happening. And from what nothing to very little has been done about it, because this guy is still in charge of that committee, and it's just insane, absolutely insane that they don't want to do anything. And the third person, okay, I want to get into details because this one personally involves me. I don't think it's a good idea to do that. So I'm not going to, because I don't want to get into any illegal trouble or anything like that. But this was a guy who was he was one of my teachers. I think he was my teacher 2 times. And yeah, this guy was a creep, a absolute creep to say the least. He supplied, I'm fairly certain he supplied nicotine products and alcohol to students. He went to parties with them. He had some of them on Snapchat. And from what I can tell, he had some weird charged interactions with some students, to say the least. And I don't want to say the word because it's honestly just an uncomfortable topic that it's rough, but like, he was a creep. I'm gonna say that much. I don't know if there was any like real like assault encounters with students, but you could tell from his behavior that that was something on his mind, and that he had very completely inappropriate and strange and wrong interactions with students and everyone in that. Well, I don't know if everyone, but it was an open secret in that class that, you know, this guy was just doing some weird things. And I'm glad they did fire him, right? But like, I genuinely don't understand this decision remotely. They suspended his teaching license for, I think, a little bit less than 8 months. Which is like, I don't, like, I'm sorry, you should never be allowed in a school again after that. Like, do you really think this guy is going to learn his lesson by not having work for 8 months? Like, I think teachers need to go to college, or university rather, for like 5 years. Don't you think they've had enough time to know that doing things like that is bad and wrong and like evil? That's just so strange to me that, like, it's like, I don't know why they're so lax on these people who are like, shouldn't we prioritize the safety of kids at all costs, you know? Isn't that like the single thing that schools should be trying the hardest to do, to make sure that their kids don't end up like traumatized because of things that happen in school, so they can actually learn things and actually have a better future instead of a worse one because like they were traumatized by something that happened to them? Like, that should be the number one priority, even like above the teachers, which, like, obviously they should be treated well and fairly. But if there is a potential, if people are saying that things are happening, you need to do something about it, you know? Like, you need to, because this is kids' futures. The things that happen to them in their youth are gonna affect them tremendously as a person, as an adult. And you know, that kind of trauma, that causes people to like spiral and like fall into terrible places in life if they don't have it within themselves to process what happened to them. They can like end up in the worst places imaginable, you know? And it's insane that this school is not recognizing that, like, is not recognizing how the real potential for harm that is there in these teachers. It's like they care more about their reputation as a school than like the actual reality. But at this point, like, so many people know about these things, you know, the word gets around, and it's like you're not, no one cares about your reputation, because everyone knows that, like, this shit is fucked up and it's not okay, you know. I don't know, it's just a crazy situation, and I don't at all understand it. But now that I've ranted for quite a long time, I think this, damn, yeah, this is my longest video now. All right, sure, we'll take that. But am I feeling the caffeine buzz? I think so. I think I am. It's a little bit hard to tell because I am, like, shaking from being cold, and I'm sure that's, like, affecting my headspace as well. But I think I feel something in my head. I don't know if I would call it like a caffeine buzz. I haven't experienced that in a while. I did wake up with, like, a very slight headache, though I think that was just from being a bit dehydrated. It's a similar feeling to that. I don't know if I'm just feeling that again. But yeah, I definitely feel like I could get some stuff done right now. I definitely feel a little bit energized, more so than not. But I will let you know. I think I will go on a walk now, and if I do start feeling the caffeine a bit more, I will let y'all know. And so if I do end up doing that, I'll see y'all again. But if I do not, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. This was definitely a great experience. I think I should rate this experience, actually. So, taking into consideration that this 5-hour energy cost somewhere between 6 and 7 Canadian dollars, it's very on the expensive side. I gotta be honest, you know, like alcohol, like an alcoholic shot would cost about half of that, you know. So, excuse me, very much on the pricey side. So other than trying these for the first time, excuse me, other than just to try these energy shots, I don't know if I would get them again per se, just because it's so expensive. And so I definitely got to knock it down a few points because of the price. But for the experience, I definitely enjoy like drinking experiences that are a lot longer than not. And so I don't know if shots are really for me personally. They are fun to do, but I just enjoy sipping on something and having it last me a while rather than just being done with it immediately. So not my thing in that regard, but I mean, not bad by any traits, by any means, you know. It's just kind of a different kind of experience. And for the flavor, it's decent. I mean, I've already covered the flavor, but I think I should give the flavor a rating now that I've had some time to sit with it a bit. I'm gonna give the flavor, let me think, I think it's somewhere around an 8.4, 8.5. It's not any higher because just the syrupiness of it just makes for not the most pleasant flavor, but at the same time it does taste good, and it's definitely enjoyable. It's just definitely like unique in a way that isn't the best, but it's still unique in a way that's enjoyable in its own right, you know? 1 hour. We're at a 1 hour video now. Wow, ain't that beautiful. So yeah, flavor wise, I'm gonna give that like an 8.5, I guess. And buzz wise, so far, I mean, I think I do feel it a fair bit. Nothing too intense, but I gotta give it. I mean, it is 190 milligrams of caffeine, and so you're getting the same buzz from any other 190 milligrams of caffeine out there. It's decent so far, but I mean, nothing exceptional, nothing too exceptional. I mean, I feel it more than normal, I think, but still not like to an insane degree. I'm not like panicking or anything like that. So overall, what will I give this experience? I mean, overall, as my first time trying any energy shot, I mean, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. It's not a bad experience by any means. Definitely do this again, although I'm a bit reluctant to because of the price. But I mean, obviously, I think I will be trying more of these. I do already have the maple syrup flavor and the peach mango, and so definitely looking forward to trying those with y'all. And as those are the extra strength ones, I'm hoping they can give a little bit more of a buzz, although I'm not expecting much more because the difference between the regular and extra strength is incredibly minimal, I must say. Even the caffeine, there's only like 10 milligrams more, I think, in the extra strength. But yeah, as my first time trying an energy shot, I'm gonna give this experience a 9 out of 10. Yeah, not bad, but pricey. But I'm looking forward to trying more of these. I mean, I definitely prefer energy drinks, and there's a reason why I've stuck with energy drinks for like 3 years before ever trying energy shots, is because the main part of the experience I enjoy is just sipping on it and then getting a buzz. It's not just the buzz like chugging something and then getting the buzz alone. But I mean, I'm definitely glad that I've been able to try this. I mean, as a caffeine and energy drink enjoyer, it's kind of like the next natural progression after trying energy drinks. You can try an energy shot. And overall, I'm very glad I've been able to experience this today and to share it with you, you know? I just love... There's a big bug and it made a big noise. Anyways, very glad, very happy that I've been able to try this today. And I'm looking forward to trying new things, you know? I don't know what else, but if there's many other like different product types I could try next, I'll definitely try to think of some, but don't have very many ideas at the moment. There's not very many types of different energy products out there. You know, I'm kind of jealous of nicotine users for that. Like, they have cigarettes, cigarillos, filtered cigars, like the whole vape world, the whole Zyn world, the whole other oral nicotine product, or what do you call it? Like, there's pouches, and then there's like all the other things that aren't pouches, you know? But in energy drinks or the caffeine world, I mean, you do have coffee, you do have tea to an extent, you do have things like mate and guarana and guayusa, and then you have energy drinks and energy shots. But other than that, there aren't very many different product types out there, or at least I think not as many as nicotine. And I'm jealous of them for that, but I'm not jealous of them because, you know, they're doing nicotine. I don't want to be doing that. But yeah, overall, very pleasant experience, and looking forward to trying some more of these. Although in my regular daily life, I think energy drinks are a much better, more enjoyable, more convenient, not more convenient, but more conveniently priced option for me. And so I'm gonna be sticking to those, obviously, but glad for like the 10th time I'm saying it, I'm glad I got to try this, you know. I'm glad I got to share this experience with you today. I hope y'all are having a pleasant day. I hope y'all had a nice time in listening to me ramble. And I might see you again after this. I might update on the buzz, might not. So if I don't, thank y'all for watching. Really appreciate it. And I hope y'all are having a marvelous day. I hope this video made it a little bit better. And yeah, that's about all. I will see y'all next time. Alright, so now that it's been in my system for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I've been walking around, I can say with a fair bit of confidence that the feeling I'm getting from this is pretty similar to when I wasn't used to energy drinks when I first started drinking them. And that's like a mild headache kind of feeling, like a tiny bit of brain fog, but small amount of like feeling energetic at the same time. Definitely not what I would have hoped for, but I mean, you get what you get. I've been building a tolerance to caffeine for quite some time now, so I guess 8 days isn't long enough to make a massive difference in how I feel it, but still big enough. And that's about all I wanted to say, but I wanted to give y'all a bit of a fit check because I wanted to do that earlier and I forgot. So here we are, got the Squander t-shirt. It's a cool local crust punk band. I rock with them. And then we got this chain that my friend's grandma gave me, and of course a Truly hat, as well as some necklaces just to accessorize